My husband and I got married when I was 33 and he was 34. He was working at a popular company in the city at the time, and the place was second to none in his industry. A lot of his colleagues were younger than us, people in their 20s fresh out of university. A lot of his peers were female, too. My husband is very particular about how he wants things done, and if I didn't make him dinner after work or forgot to do the laundry, he would be very critical of me. Once he told me I was the very worst among all the women he knew. He always complained that plenty of his female colleagues came from dual-income households, and they managed to balance being a great mom with always doing an amazing job in the office. I was working for a company that often made me work late into the night, but he would still ask me why I couldn't balance work and family like they did. We earned a similar amount, but I would get home much later than him, usually at about 9 or 10 at night. My husband always waited to eat with me, though. He said he had always dreamed of having a wife who would always have a clean house and food on the table ready for him when he got home, and I just couldn't do that for him. I would end up cooking a hot meal for him at past midnight, when I just wanted to climb into bed and sleep after a long day at work. Even if I left something in the fridge and told him to heat it up when he got home, he would just sit around and not eat until I came home and cooked something fresh for him. The amount of resentment he felt for me for failing as a wife was no joke. I would work so hard at the office all day and then come home late just to have to hear him nagging about dinner not being ready for him. Because of me having to work so late and not getting home until nighttime, he would just sit and starve while he waited. I tried to ask him to understand that I wasn't doing it on purpose. It wasn't like I was just hanging out with friends or something, but he didn't want to listen. He told me I must just be incompetent and not know how to do my job if it took me so long to finish all my work every day. He was never going to understand why I had to stay late at the office, so I gave up trying to explain.
Are you serious? Again?
What do you mean, again?
I don't have anything to wear.
I don't understand. Your closet is full of clothes you would wear. How come you can't see anything?
Of course that's all you would think about. There was a specific shirt I was going to wear today, and it isn't here.
Okay, well, I did do some laundry at the weekend, so maybe it's still drying. Couldn't you just wear something else today?
Huh. This happens every morning. I don't understand why you always do laundry so late in the evening. I never have dry clothes to wear.
I got back from work really late yesterday. I didn't really have a choice about when to do the laundry. If it's such a nuisance, why don't you just do it yourself? It's not very hard to turn on the washing machine, especially since you get home before me after work.
You should look at my mom and try to be more like her instead of complaining. She was honestly superhuman. She did all the housework completely on her own, and she had a full-time job on top of that. I know it's possible to do both. If you just worked a bit harder and didn't sit around, you would be able to do everything properly. It's just because you're lazy, that's all.
Every time you talk to me about this, you bring your mom up and how she could balance it all. Can't you just stop comparing us? I know your mom is a very impressive woman, and she clearly worked really hard for her family. You have to remember that we have different work schedules, though. I don't get home until 10 p.m. every night. I end up spending most of the day out of the house.
That's why I'm telling you to do better at work so you finish everything earlier and can come home and do the chores. You're only staying so late every day because you're not very good at your job, that's all. We've been married for about a year now, and you've been on birth control the whole time. If nothing changes, I think we should just get a divorce. You need to decide if you're going to get pregnant or if you want to split up, because those are your options. My family name is going to die out if you don't have a baby, and I won't let that happen.
Honey, you know I'm already having a tough time with work and everything right now. Can you imagine adding childcare on top of everything? Because we both know you wouldn't help with that and it would be my responsibility. I just don't understand how you expect me to do everything.
Hey, my mom had an office job just like you, and she managed to get everything done at home too. She raised 2 kids, for God's sake. A woman should be dedicated to taking care of her family, whether or not she has a job too.
Man, why can't you get rid of that old-fashioned way of thinking? We're clearly not going to agree while you still have that idea stuck in your head. I wish you had made this clear to me before we got married. If we need to be a dual-income household and split our finances, I don't see why we can't split the household jobs too. I mean, you said that we should. Why didn't you tell me everything would be my problem before the wedding?
When did I ever say that? Split the chores?
You're just going to deny it as soon as you get caught?
I never said anything like that. You must have heard it from some other guy.
Oh, don't be ridiculous.
I'll say it again. You need to decide quickly if you're going to have a baby or if we're going to get divorced. Let's not waste any more time. Don't you think you could make yourself more useful by at least having a child? Right now, you're just a lazy wife who doesn't really do anything and can't get anything right.
Wow. You could have said that a bit more nicely instead of deliberately trying to hurt my feelings.
What do you mean? I have plenty of things I can complain about when it comes to you. Why should I try to put them nicely just to protect your feelings?
You're not the only one who's unhappy right now, you know. I feel like I'm about to explode from trying to do everything and never saying a word to you about helping me.
Oh, really? Well, then let's just end it.
Hey, Mom. Are you there?
I'm in the living room, sweetie. What brings you over?
I just missed your face and wanted to see you, that's all.
Well, you've seen me now, so no need to stay. Go on, off you go.
Wait, what? We haven't seen each other in ages. Why are you suddenly pushing me away?
You're married now. This isn't your house anymore. You have in-laws you should be visiting instead of me.
Mom, I'm your daughter. Why are you giving me such a hard time? I just wanted to see you.
Because I told you not to come visit me. You shouldn't be here.
I came because I had something I needed to talk to you about, though.
If it isn't something good, then just get out, because I don't want to hear it.
Oh my God. Are you even my mom anymore? Why are you being like this? How can you tell me not to come to you when I'm worried about something? Do you think it's reasonable to tell me to shut up if I don't have anything good to talk about?
Fine. What is it then?
I think me and Luke are going to get a divorce. We've only been married and living together for a year, but he's been so demanding and intense, and I just can't stand it any longer.
Why did you even bother getting married then? You knew what he was like before the wedding. Why would you get married if you were only going to get a divorce after a year? I guess really you just wanted to come over so you had someone to complain to, cursing at your husband for hours.
Mom, whose side are you on here? I'm saying I'm really struggling.
My God. Do you think I'm automatically going to be on your side for everything? If you hadn't gotten married, you would have been my problem and my responsibility for the rest of my life. Don't stress me out by coming to me with all of this and expecting me to fix it. Just deal with it on your own. You're a grown woman. And under no circumstances are you allowed to get a divorce. Don't even think about it. It's not like he had an affair or anything. Even if he had cheated on you, it's just because he's a man. It's nothing you need to get a divorce over.
Do you really think I deserve that? You make it sound like I'm useless.
Sure, maybe you are useless. You always studied hard and did pretty well in high school, and I paid to put you through college. You got that singing scholarship too, and you could have done something with that talent. You found a good job and married Luke, and now you're coming to me complaining about your life. Whose fault is your situation now? It's all because of choices you made. I set you up more than enough.
You know, most parents would be proud of their kids for doing well in school, not telling them they're useless even though they've made a life for themselves. I'm earning money for myself and making my way in the world. Why are you telling me it's not enough?
There's no point in studying if you're a woman. It's completely useless. You don't need to be smart or educated to live a good life if you're a woman. You just need a husband who can support you. All you need is a loving husband, and you should be happy.
Oh, whatever. Again with the same thing over and over. Why did I even bother coming here? I was an idiot to think I could talk to you about anything.
I'm telling you what to do. What else do you want? Just go home and clean the house properly. That's your responsibility. If you're a woman and you're not doing a good job with the cooking and housework, I don't know how you expect your husband to love you. Of course you're feeling ignored.
Is that really the advice you want to give to your daughter? When she came running to you for help, crying her eyes out. Some mother you are.
Everything I'm saying is with you in mind. Why would you ask for help if you don't want to hear it? You're acting like a spoiled child.
If you know I don't want to hear it, then just don't say it. You know this is hurting my feelings. I realize now that I can't even ask my own mom for support. I won't waste your time again.
since you clearly don't want me here."
When I got home from work that evening, I suddenly got a phone call from my mom. She said she was sorry for being mean and that she got so angry she got carried away in the moment. Eventually, she said she realized that divorce was the best option if I was finding the marriage too difficult, and not to worry about it too much, especially since we didn't have any kids. My mom has always been a very nervous person, so I guess she panicked when I started talking about divorce. I guess it made her upset, and that's why she got so angry and yelled at me. She is pretty conservative too, so I was surprised when she changed her mind and said she would support my decision. I think that if I spoke to her about it again, she would still be upset. I don't think she can really change her mind so quickly and do a complete U-turn like that. She has always been against divorce, even when I was growing up. I don't really know why I expected any big gesture of help from her. I guess I just felt desperate. After our phone call that evening, I talked to my husband again. To be honest, I hadn't spoken to him since our last conversation, and I was nervous to bring it up. After my phone call with my mom, though, I got a bit of confidence back and asked to talk to him. I didn't get home until 11 at night, and sure enough, he had been waiting up for me again. After I made us some food and we had finished eating, I carefully brought up the topic again to see what he would say. I assumed he would cut me off before I could really say anything about my feelings or how the situation made me feel, but surprisingly, he let me get everything off my chest without interrupting. After I finished talking, he said he was trying to make an effort to be more open-minded about it all.
First, can we both agree that I have a good job and a decent character? There are a lot of girls who would have chosen to marry a guy like me. I'm a real catch.
I agree. You're tall and handsome too, which just makes you the whole package.
I want to talk about why I chose to marry you, though. You were so polite and calm, and always respectful to your elders and the people around you. I thought that you were a great partner, and you listened to me and my opinions. After the wedding, though, well, I thought you would respect the things I said, but...
Okay, but what?
I just realized that we see things very differently, and I felt us starting to drift apart. We couldn't agree on anything. To be honest, I think the only reason we're still together is out of loyalty and because we're used to the way things are. Obviously, I'm not a woman, so we feel things differently and have different roles. The reason I haven't been helping around the house has nothing to do with this, though, and it wasn't really a conscious decision for me to not do chores. Before I married you, I used to help my mom with the housework and getting everything done at home, you know?
Well then, why are you now saying it's a woman's responsibility to do it all? What made you change your mind?
The reason I used to help my mom is that we never really divided things up by gender. She always worked so hard, and she was absolutely 100% committed to her family. Even though it wasn't my job to do the chores, I wanted to help her because I knew how hard she worked. I don't get that same feeling with you, though.
I don't think I understand. What do you mean you don't get the same feeling?
Well, when I look at you, it doesn't feel like you're doing your best for our little family. It doesn't seem like you work very hard. I guess I just didn't help because it didn't seem like you were making an effort too.
What does it look like to do your best, though? How do you decide how hard someone is working?
Let me see. How can I explain it simply? If you were doing your best at work, you wouldn't have to work overtime to get everything done, and you wouldn't be so exhausted when you came home. You would have the energy to do things when you got back from work. You would be able to clean the house, do laundry, wash the dishes, all the jobs that need doing every day. You would have a hot meal ready on the table for your husband when he got home, too, so he wouldn't have to wait hours for dinner. Then, in the morning, you would wake up early to get breakfast ready and do a bit of makeup so you look pretty when your husband got up. You should have time to tidy up the bathroom, too, and put all your brushes and products away so he could shave and brush his teeth. If you were doing your best every day like this, then we wouldn't be arguing so much and we could just move on from this. I would even take out the trash to help you.
Are you serious? That sounds like an absolutely impossible daily routine. You're asking too much. Besides, why do I have to do all of that and all you have to do is empty the trash? Do you think that's fair?
Oh, and another thing. Don't you think you've gained some weight in the year that we've been together now? You get home so late you don't have time to go to the gym or work out at all. But if you woke up earlier, you could go for a run before work or something. Otherwise, you could eat lunch quickly and squeeze in a workout at the office. You would still have 40 minutes of your lunch break to walk around the neighborhood quickly if you ate in 10 minutes. That could be a bit of exercise for you, too. Why are you neglecting your body?
Sure, I have gained about 3 kilograms since the wedding. But I get home so late and have dinner so late. How do you expect me to cook and eat in 10 minutes?
Well, that's your problem, and I can't fix it for you. It's because of all these things and your bad time management that I feel like we're not close anymore. I don't understand why you're happy to live like this. You don't work hard at the office, you don't do a good job of managing all the housework, and you just sit around and gain weight all day.
Are these your criteria for a good wife? I get home so late from work every day. Do you really think I would want to start cooking and cleaning straight away? I don't get much free time, and all I want to do is shower and go to bed as soon as possible. You could just make food for yourself, you know. You're an adult man who can take care of himself. I don't see how it's fair for you to blame me for all the problems we've been having. You could even prepare some food in advance so you had leftovers that you could just heat up when you get home.
See, this is the attitude that I really don't like. I told you it upsets me when you don't make any effort, and you clearly have no interest in changing your behavior.
Oh my God. Please just stop. I am so sick of hearing about how lazy and useless you think I am. It feels like 20 times a day I'm being told how I'm not doing enough and you deserve better. Don't you think that could be the reason why we've drifted apart?
If you don't want to hear it, then you need to make a change. I wouldn't complain if you were doing your best.
I literally cannot do any more than I am right now. Let's just leave it. We tried to talk about things and figure out a middle ground, but obviously you just believe that housework is a woman's job. You think that for a woman to be good enough, she has to somehow balance a successful career and managing all the chores, cooking and cleaning after a long day at the office. You're clearly hung up on the idea of my appearance being important too, as if I would have time to think about that in between everything I have to do all day. You think you're right, and you've been raised with these beliefs. I don't see how I can convince you to treat me like an equal when you won't even listen to me.
God, this is so annoying. I'm obviously trying to resolve this or I wouldn't be talking to you about it, but it's exhausting trying to explain my side of things and I just want to give up. I'm leaving. I'm not going to sit here and defend myself when you're convinced I'm the bad guy.
What? Where will you go?
Why do you want to know? Are you worried I'm going to go off and meet some other woman? As soon as we're divorced, I'm going to find a new woman who can be a good wife to me. Unlike you. You realize I can do that, right?
I don't know if you're actually capable of doing it, but I'm sure you're more than willing to go off and meet someone else. You know, when my colleagues and I are stuck at the office until late at night, I talk to the girls about what's been going on with us. They think you've been hiding something from me. You've complained often enough about other men being interested in me. They think you've gone off to soothe your ego.
Of course they would say that. They're women. You're just jealous. I do actually have a conscience and sense of morality, though, so I'm not going to meet another girl. You should be grateful that I'm a decent man. I'm going to sleep at my parents' house. I need some space from you.
It's late. Don't go now. If you turn up in the middle of the night like this, they'll just worry about what could have happened. They're going to realize we're fighting.
That's why I'm saying we should just get a divorce. I'm sick of fighting with you every day like this. It's boring and exhausting.
After our fight that night, my husband and I lived separately. Ever since he mentioned us getting a divorce, I started really throwing myself into my work and giving it everything I had. I barely did any housework. My husband was furious, and I thought he was going to explode with anger every time I saw him. As soon as he got home, I could feel the frustration rolling off of him in waves. The house was a complete mess, with laundry everywhere and dishes piled up in the sink. I didn't cook him dinner in the evenings either. He was really going through it. We spent about a month living separate lives in the same house. Every day I would get home from work and order some takeout for dinner, then climb into bed without doing any chores. I washed and left all the wrapping and bags from the food I ordered in the garbage, but I never took the trash out. My husband eventually decided he couldn't stand to see the mountain of trash, and he kicked it over and scattered everything across the floor. He started screaming about how our house looked like it had squatters living in it, and started yelling at me to do the dishes and put on the laundry. Honestly, I thought he was going to have a seizure. He was so upset. I pointed out that I hadn't been cooking at home since I was getting takeout every day on my way home from work, and told him it was obviously stuff that he had used and never washed up afterwards. The house slowly started to look more and more like a disaster site. There was food left out on the side going moldy, and everything started to smell bad. Eventually, I just put everything else in the bin, too. I figured that after I let things get so far from clean, my husband would have no problem with me asking for a divorce. I realized that he wasn't adding anything to my life, and that I would manage just fine without him. I had just taken him in like a lost puppy and put up with him for the last year of my life. Obviously, I had gotten married when I was young and pretty, but since then I had gained weight and apparently given up on taking care of myself. My husband made it very clear that he thought everyone in my family was pretty ugly, and that he was way out of my league. When I asked him properly about legally separating, though, he was very uncooperative and seemed to be against the idea. I tried to bring it up again and asked him nicely about what he thought, and he told me he would think about it. Even if something happened and Luke was dying tomorrow, I don't think he would ever admit that he did something wrong. He would never apologize to me for what he said or express any guilt. While I was talking to him about getting a divorce, my parents-in-law interrupted us and started giving their 2 cents. My mother-in-law told me that she knew her son could be difficult, and that she had expected things to be difficult for me after we moved in together. She apologized for not saying anything before the wedding, and tried to justify it by saying that she just wanted to see her son happily married. The fact that she had to apologize while her son didn't really made me mad about the whole situation. To be honest, I think his behavior is a reflection of being raised badly by her. I can't blame her for not doing a better job, though, knowing how hard she was working to do all the housework and childcare by herself while having a full-time job. She's only 60, and she can't even stand up straight because of years of scrubbing floors. I think I'm a bit of a softie like that. Seeing someone who has really struggled, I can't bring myself to judge them for how they got through a tough time. I can't stand to see my husband's face anymore, though, and I know something needs to change. I had contributed most of the money towards our house, so I hated the idea of having to leave it because of him. One day, the state of the house got so bad that my husband seemed to get sick. He told me he didn't want to come home, so really it all worked out in the end. He said that he would go off and find his own place and I could keep the house. He went to live with his parents after he moved out, and his mom called me later to say that the 2 of them were finding it difficult to live together and had started squabbling too. She asked me to think about things, and then come and collect my husband from her place. After a couple of months, I took pity on her. When I got to their house, my husband was nowhere to be seen. They told me he had gone out for work, even though it was the holidays. He never did any overtime before, though, so I thought it was really strange that he would go in over the holidays. I didn't see what could be so important that he had to go into the office. I guess they were covering for him, and that he had spent all night drinking with his friends or gone off with some other woman now that we had separated. I didn't care where he was. It didn't matter to me. First, I assumed he might have run away from home, but if he was with a new girl, then that was fine with me. I had let go of the idea of things working out between us long ago and didn't consider myself a part of his family anymore. I decided that I would sell our old house, split the money between us, and that way we could have an amicable divorce without any complicated court sessions or lawyers involved. I don't know what my husband was thinking, but I thought that meeting a new woman might have changed his mind about trying to stay together. I still didn't know why he was so reluctant to actually file the paperwork when I had last mentioned it. He had always been a bit of a womanizer, so I assumed he would meet someone new pretty quickly. This made me realize that we should finalize the divorce sooner rather than later. I was living a peaceful, stress-free life now that I didn't have a husband, and it was great to not have to constantly think about what to cook, what chores needed doing, and how I was going to complete my work projects and do all the chores. My work was going really well too, since I could concentrate properly instead of worrying about my failing marriage. It reached the point where I was wondering why I had ever gotten married in the first place, and wished I had walked away from the wedding when I had the chance. I got married when I was older than most girls, and I hadn't realized how much it was going to change my life. My one relief was that we didn't have any kids that would be stuck in the middle of our divorce. Finally, my husband and I legally separated without too many complications.
Excuse me, Katie. Can you help me with something?
Sure, Ruth. How can I help?
I don't suppose you happen to know where I can find the details of my insurance policy.
I'm sorry? What do you mean?
Well, my son used to pay for my insurance for me, and I can't find anything about it now. Do you think he took it? Has he removed me from his plan?
It sounds like that might be what happened. Have you tried asking him about it?
His mind has been all over the place lately. He seems pretty overwhelmed. He told me he's been looking for it, but he hasn't called or texted me any updates.
Oh, really? That seems odd. It might be worth calling your insurance provider and asking them to send you all the information again, so that you have a copy too. I'm sure they wouldn't mind since you live at the registered address for the account.
Yes, I suppose that's what I'll have to do. How are you doing anyway?
I mean, I'm still working, obviously, so I've just been quietly getting on with my life, I suppose.
Has Luke tried to contact you at all? Or are the two of you not really speaking?
Well, I don't think there's much for us to talk about, to be honest.
He's always been such a smart, popular guy, you know. The girls just won't leave him alone.
Oh, is that so?
Yes! You know, right after the two of you got divorced, he came home with a 22-year-old college student that he said he was dating. Honestly, I don't know what to do with him some days. He came home the other day and made a huge fuss, talking about how he was going to pay off her student loans and put her through graduate school. You know, it was very dramatic.
That does sound like a big decision. At first, when we started talking about separating, he said that he didn't want to and begged me to stay with him. I heard that he met his girl after that and ended up falling for her so hard that he asked me to go ahead with filing for divorce so he could be with her.
Oh, really? I guess you already knew he has been seeing her then. He was acting like such a fool, promising her all this money that he didn't even have and saying he would pay her tuition. They had a huge fight at our house about it and ended up breaking up. Still, I didn't like her anyway. She was so young and so immature still. He needs someone more sensible to keep him grounded.
Huh. I never heard that they had broken up.
Well, before I knew it, he came home with another girl, and she was only 20 years old. Goodness, I just don't know what goes on in that brain of his. Is this how dating works these days?
A 20-year-old? That's really young.
She's a college dropout, and she said she's working part-time at the bakery to save up because she's already 5 weeks pregnant. They're already talking about getting married since they're having a baby, even though they've only been dating for a few months.
Well, I guess I should be congratulating you on your grandchild?
The pregnancy isn't the thing I have a problem with. My husband and I made it very clear that we were against the two of them getting married so soon after they met, but Luke just ran off to get his marriage license anyway. My husband was so shocked and angry, I thought he was going to run after him and put a stop to it. You know this too, but Luke just isn't the type of guy who normally does this sort of thing. It's so out of character. I have no idea what's wrong with him. It's like he's completely lost his mind. He spent all his money on the college student he was dating before this new girl. He's got nothing left. I don't know how he plans to pay for the wedding or find them a house to live in together once they're married. Honestly, I've been grinding down my teeth in my sleep. I'm so stressed about everything. I never know what he's going to do next. I kick myself every day for letting him treat a pretty, smart girl like you the way he did. He made a huge mistake in letting you go. Truly.
Oh, do you think so?
I'll go on at you all day if I don't stop myself. I only wanted to ask if you knew where my insurance paperwork was, and now I've wasted your afternoon talking about nothing. I guess I just thought you might be curious about how he's doing. My son has all these women fighting over him, and he's just letting them take advantage of his good nature.
You know, I don't think that's actually what's going on here, Ruth. Don't you think it seems strange that he's only dating very young girls? It seems a bit creepy.
What? Creepy? Well, I had better hang up now. I guess I'll talk to you later sometime.
Thanks to my ex-mother-in-law, I finally heard some news about my ex-husband after months of not knowing what he was up to. I always knew there were bad people out there in the world, but I thought they were living good lives. It always seems to be the good people that end up suffering the most. I have to admit, it was kind of satisfying to see him being punished for how he treated me. When I heard from his mother about how his life turned out, there was a part of me that thought it sounded like he could still make something of himself. I guess that after we finalized our divorce and he started dating that young college student, her family's objections were just too much for them. That seems to be why they broke up anyway. The funny thing is more to do with this recent high school graduate that he's dating now, as she works part-time in a bakery downtown. I can't believe she's 5 months pregnant and that they're going to get married. I genuinely can't understand why he wants to be with her. She's so young and naive. Poor thing. If he was into young women, I really don't understand why he got with me. He knew I was a bit older, but maybe that's the real reason why he ended up hating me? I guess I'll never really know. I think the quiet and peaceful life that I wanted was never the dream for my ex-husband. Maybe we were doomed from the very beginning. It was natural that we didn't work out, I guess. And now here we are 6 months later. It's crazy how fast time goes by. One day, he came to find me again. He didn't have any idea where my new apartment was, though, let alone the floor number or unit number. Instead, he just waited for me at the subway station at roughly the time he knew I got off work. There's only one exit at my subway station, so he knew where I would be. He wanted to talk to me for a while and asked if I had time, but it's a really small subway station and there was no cafe for us to sit down and chat. It's a pretty quiet neighborhood, so there wasn't really anywhere in the area for us to talk. More important than not having anywhere to sit, though, I didn't have anything left that I wanted to say to him. Honestly, I just thought it would be good to say a final goodbye now that we had both moved on with our lives, so we wouldn't keep wondering how the other was doing. As we started to walk in the direction of my apartment, I noticed the shopping mall was still open and told him that I would give him 30 minutes exactly to say whatever he wanted to say to me. He promised he wouldn't come bothering me again after this, and honestly, I was curious to hear what he had to say. What on earth could he want to say that would make him go to all this effort? He seemed really desperate to get it off his chest. He had always seemed so confident and assured when we had lived together, so it was strange for me to see him so nervous. So, we stepped inside the cafe to talk. To be honest, before I even sat down, all I could think about was how he was going to get married to a young girl in her early 20s, like my ex-mother-in-law had told me about. It made me wonder if he was planning on inviting me to their wedding, whenever that was going to be. It seemed crazy, but based off his weird behavior all evening, I couldn't be sure that wasn't what he wanted to talk to me about. I couldn't figure out what to say to start the conversation. Come on then, say whatever it is that's on your mind.
I've just been thinking. What if we got back together?
No, I don't want to do that.
Really? You didn't stop to think about it for even a second. Are you really that against the idea? Unless you've met someone new. Are you dating someone?
No, I'm not seeing anyone right now.
No, me neither.
What? What are you talking about? I heard from your mom the other day that you were dating some new girl.
Oh, well, that. It was just with one of the girls that went to the same college as me. She was a few years above me, but we were pretty close, so we met up for some food and to catch up. It really was nothing, I swear. We just grabbed some pizza together.
That's not what she told me, though. Apparently you're dating a 20-year-old girl who's fresh out of high school, not some college student. I heard that she's 5 months pregnant, too.
What? She seriously told you that?
Yeah, your mom told me everything, complaining about how you were going off the rails. If you were going to try and convince me to take you back, you should really have covered your tracks a bit better.
But it's nothing serious, honestly. I was never planning on marrying her. We were just seeing each other for a little while.
God, I can't believe I used to be in love with this guy. What was I thinking? I wish I could go back in time and warn my past self not to go through with the wedding. I can't believe he would talk like this about a woman he got pregnant. She's literally having his baby. And then to claim it was nothing serious? As if I would believe that. He's caught in the act, trying to come up with a lie.
How come you aren't saying anything? Do you agree with me? Do you regret that we ever got divorced? Be honest with me. Surely you've been lonely living by yourself. Don't you miss having me around? My mom keeps telling me I should never have gotten divorced. She thinks we made a big mistake. I know you loved me once. No, I know you still do. Come on, what do you say?
Well, I guess some people never change. You're exactly the same Luke I remembered from 6 months ago, the last time I saw you. Honestly, it's almost funny that he hasn't come to tell me he realizes he was wrong, or acknowledges his own mistakes and bad behavior. Imagine asking your ex-wife if she still loves you 6 months after your divorce. If he had come here to apologize, then maybe I would have had some mixed feelings and thought about taking him seriously. Instead, he's just here to beg me to take him back. I don't even feel angry now. I just feel sorry for him. What happened to him? What is he going to do with his life now? I can't even recognize him as the angry little man that used to yell at me about being a good wife and doing all the housework. Does it look like I still love you?
Well, no, I guess not.
If you said everything you wanted to, then I'm going to head home.
No, wait, just a minute. To be honest, that actually wasn't what I came here to talk to you about. There was something else. I wanted to give you this. Here, take it.
Your wedding ring? I don't need this, though. Why are you giving it to me?
Just take it. I just wanted to return the ring, that's all. I never wear it, obviously, and I don't want it just lying around.
I didn't want to take the ring with me, since me and Luke had split up, so I just left it on the table in the cafe. Why would he even give it back to me? And why didn't he do it straight away after the divorce? It was so weird to just slam it down on the table like he did. He just ran away as soon as I told him I didn't want it, too. It was almost like he was embarrassed or something, trying to hide his face. I really didn't have any use for the ring, though, so there would have been no point in me taking it with me. I don't have any plans to get married again soon, and I would want a new ring anyway. They were only steel rings anyway, that we got when we started dating as a kind of promise ring. What did he expect me to do with it? I couldn't really just throw it in the trash, but it would have felt weird to give it to someone else, too. Leaving it in the ashtray in a cafe felt like the best option. It felt fitting, leaving it behind in the trash, just like how I left my relationship with my ex-husband. When I got home, I took a second to stop and think about what had happened, and I felt a real sense of relief and happiness. Luke may never have apologized for how he treated me, but it was kind of satisfying to know none of his new relationships were working out either. It was validating to know I wasn't the problem. I may not have had any real revenge, but it was exhilarating to feel like I had won in the end. He had always gone on and on about how he could get any girl he wanted, and here he was with none. Maybe he finally realized that I really wasn't that bad as a wife. I wonder what he said to his mom when he got home after our conversation. I bet he yelled at her about how he had wasted his time saying a bunch of useless things to try and get me back. It's so funny to think about how she blamed Luke's relationship failing on his new girlfriend being too young, instead of admitting that her son was a man-child. Anyway, that night I climbed into bed, turned on the aircon, and had the best night's sleep I've had in a while. Maybe I'm a bad person, laughing at someone else's misfortune. After what he did to me, though, I think I've earned the right to laugh at his life falling apart. He wasted a year of my life nagging me to be good to my in-laws, to cook him dinner every night, to keep the house clean and serve him like a good wife, all while holding down a successful career. Since his girlfriend was so young, I guess she didn't realize that his behavior was totally insane and just moved past it. But I'm relieved that her parents stepped in to steer her right. It's a shame she got pregnant, but I'm sure Luke will go running back to her now he knows I'm not going to take him back myself. Obviously, now that I live alone, there are some things that have changed. I can't earn as much money as two people, so I've had to make some cutbacks, and I never come home to a hot meal that my partner has made for me. Then again, I never had someone else cook for me even when I was married. Even thinking of my past gives me goosebumps, and I'm just glad to be free of it. Every day I feel so happy and peaceful now that I'm free of my ex-husband. I hope you enjoyed listening to my story today. If you did, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. See you next time!
Did you get the message? My mom wanted to talk to you.
What did she want to tell me? I haven't spoken to her yet.
Oh, really? You didn't talk to her. That's a bit strange. I thought she was going to speak to you.
What is it? Is it something important? You can tell me now if you want to.
I can't tell you now. You can talk to her when the time is right. I think it's supposed to be a surprise, so I can't tell you about it yet.
Why does it have to be a surprise? You can't mention this and then not tell me what it is. Tell me. I really want to know.
Are you busy around Thanksgiving? Do you have something to do, or are you free?
Of course I've not got any plans. I thought I was going to your house to help make the food.
I don't think you need to make the food this time. I don't think my mom wants you to do it.
Are you for real? I thought I had to do it. I think your mom's going to be mad if I don't.
I guess she didn't tell you yet. She told me that she didn't want you to do it.
That's funny. I wonder why she changed her mind. Maybe she doesn't like my cooking? If she doesn't want me to help, then I won't force the issue. I just thought it would be a nice idea.
I don't think they even want us to go at all.
Why is that? What happened?
My mom has spent all her money and she doesn't want to spend any more.
What did she spend all her money on? She didn't give any to us.
She wanted to invest it. I think she was hoping to make a lot of money on it.
That's funny. She didn't do that in the past. I wonder what made her change. I've never seen her spend anything. She seems to keep it all to herself. I didn't think she was the kind of person to invest in something. I thought she'd just keep it in the bank.
She's getting a bit more impulsive as she gets older. I worry about her, to be honest, but there's nothing I can do. If she wants to spend her money on that kind of thing, then it's up to her.
Are you for real? You mean this?
What do you mean?
I wish her mom would be nicer to my mom. If she's going to spend money, then she should spend it on her.
Maybe we need to talk to her. Why don't you do that? You can go and speak to her and see what she has to say about all this.
Sounds like a good idea.
Are you busy? Do you have time to talk?
I'm fine now. I can talk with you.
Okay. Come here and let me tell you this.
Is she going to talk to me about it now? I'm listening to you. What is it you want to tell me?
Are you sure you're not busy? Do you need to go somewhere? If now is not a good time, then we can talk later. I really don't mind.
Why doesn't she just get straight to the point? No, really, I'm fine. Tell me what you want to say. I've always got time for you.
You've always been so hardworking, and you've always done so much for me when I needed help. I'm really happy about all this, and I hope you know that. Thanks to you, I'm free to enjoy a happy life. There's really nothing for me to worry about. I know you're going to be there for me. If you're not going to be there for me this Christmas, then I don't know how I'm going to survive.
That's right. We really need you. If we didn't have you, we'd have to go out and buy all the ingredients by ourselves. It's really hard to go out before Christmas and get all that stuff. Then you have to come home and make it all in time for everyone to eat.
Oh, so this is what it's all about? Is this what they have in mind?
If it's going to be hard for you, then why don't you get Cindy to help you out? If you've got two people doing it, then it's going to be a lot easier for you.
That's a good idea of yours. You're always full of good ideas. I'm really glad that you're my daughter-in-law.
A lot of my friends tell me that they don't get on that well with their family. They always have arguments and things like that. I'm happy you're not like that, Katrina.
I'm hoping we can get on like this in the future. Things are really going well for us all.
You're being too nice to me. Is there something else you want to talk to me about, or is that it?
Do you know that Cindy is going to get married soon?
Already? I didn't realize that was going to happen. Congratulations to you. Thanks so much. I really can't wait for it to happen. You've been really nice to me, and it's really helped me to keep a positive outlook on life. I know with my family behind me, I can get through anything. Nothing is too much for me.
She really likes me. The two of them are really full of praise for me. What did I do to deserve this?
I'm sure you're going to have a great marriage and a great career. I think you can get a good job if you really try to get one. I know you're going to go far in life. You're such a great girl, and I'm sure your mom is really proud of you.
Are you going to be free around this time? When we have the wedding?
Why are you talking about that? I thought you wanted me to stay at home and live with you anyway. It's going to be really lonely for you when I move out. I don't like to think about it.
Don't think about it. I just want you to be like Katrina here. Come back and help me when I need it. We're going to go on vacation together soon too, so we can see each other then too.
You're going on vacation? Where are you going to?
We are going to go on vacation. We don't know where yet, and we don't know when, but we're going to make it happen. It might be difficult at the Christmas period, but we really think it would be a nice time to get away.
What about the things you have to do over Christmas? Like making food? Where are you going to do that?
We can do it beforehand and then it's all done.
You don't have long left. Aren't you going to buy some tickets and book a hotel? I think you need to do it as soon as you can. It's going to be really busy over the holiday season. No, it's going to be fine. I don't think too many people will be going. The holiday isn't going to be that long. We can find some time and some place to get away without the crowds. Where are you going to go? Don't you have any ideas? I don't know where we're going. Do you have any ideas? How about you, Mom? Where do you want to go?
I don't really know either. I haven't had time to think about it.
Tell me when you know. I'm really happy for you. Is it going to be easy for you to find somewhere to stay? I think it might be a little bit difficult. I think we can manage. There will be some package holidays on sale. They will be able to sort out a hotel for us.
We can sort it all out in the future. Once it's done, we can get out of here and go and have a nice vacation. It's going to be so nice to get away and relax. I can't wait for it.
Can't wait for it to happen. It's going to be great.
So you're not going to be making all the food this Christmas? That's going to be good for you. You can have a year off.
I know. Really nice for me. I like to cook for people, but sometimes I just don't want to do it. This year I don't have to, so it's going to be a nice break for me.
I can see why they want you to do it, but at the same time, I understand why you don't want to. You're busy all day in the restaurant, so I guess you don't want to be making Christmas food, too. It must be difficult running a restaurant all on your own. I couldn't imagine cooking food all day. I suppose that's why they're always asking you to cook for them. They think it must be easy for you.
I don't mind helping out, but I don't want to do it all on my own.
Oh, I remember you told me they want you to cook all the time.
That's right. I can cook really well, so of course I'm going to be in demand.
When is the vacation starting?
I don't really know. They haven't planned it yet. They're going to let me know when the time is right.
They haven't planned it yet? What are they thinking of? It's nearly time for the holidays. If they don't get something sorted now, then there won't be any hotel rooms left.
I don't know myself. I thought that too, but what can I do? I'm just going to let them get on with it.
I'm sure you're going to have a nice time as long as you can get something organized. It's so nice of them to not make you cook this year. You should feel lucky about that.
I know. They always want me to do everything.
I guess it's what you can expect from them. You're the daughter-in-law, so it's only natural they try to get you to do things. They aren't going to treat you like you're their own daughter. It just doesn't happen that way.
I know. It's sad that it has to be this way, but what can I do about it? I don't think they're going to change.
What about your husband? He needs to look after you. You make a lot of money and he needs to remember that.
He seems to think more about his mom than he thinks about me. I don't think he would dare disagree with her.
It's the same in my house. I guess that's just the way things are.
What can we do? I think we're just going to have to accept it. His mom has gone shopping for some clothes. She wants to wear them when we go on vacation. She also told me that she needs to go on a diet and lose a little bit of weight. She's really not happy with herself right now.
What money are they using? Are they spending your money again?
Yes, that's right. They're spending my money again.
It seems to me like you work for them. You have to cook the food and you have to buy them things. It's really not fair if you ask me. I don't get why you let them get away with it. I really think they don't treat you that well and you need to stand up for yourself more. You don't want to let them take you for a ride. You have to cook and then they spend all your money on clothes. You need to show them who the boss is.
I don't know if I can do that. I might just have to accept things as they are.
It seems to me like they have no shame at all. You really do too much for them and I'm not happy about it. If it was me, then I wouldn't be happy. You need to look at other people's families and see how they work. You can't just let them boss you around.
I think it might be a good idea if they were a bit nicer to me. That would make my life a bit easier. We are all on a diet so we can look a bit nicer in our new clothes. I bought some too. So did Jenny and Cindy. We want to look nice when we go on vacation. I don't know what to think about this. I think Robbie might be right in what he says. Do they take advantage of me? Should I be a bit more strict with them? For now, I'm just going to carry on like this, but things might have to change in the future. Christmas is coming and I really don't want to cause any trouble. I want things to go well for all of us. I hope we're going on vacation to a warm place where we can get away from the cold and snow. I think we're going to be lying on a sunny beach in the warm air and having a good time. What could possibly go wrong? The way they organized this might have been strange, but I'm okay with this. Usually, before we go on vacation, they tell me all about it well in advance. He didn't do that this time. It's a bit weird, but I'll just have to get over it.
Hi, I'm home.
You're here already? Did you finish a bit early today? You're usually later than this.
Yeah, we got it all done a bit earlier than we normally do, so I could leave earlier too. Where's my passport? Have you seen it?
I don't know where it is. You used it last time you went away. Why do you want it?
My mom wanted to know where it was.
I suppose she needs it for the vacation. She might want to prepare something in advance. My passport is in my bag in the bedroom.
I didn't ask about your passport.
Are you telling me that you're only going to take your passport? What about me?
She only asked about mine. She didn't mention yours.
Why didn't she do that? I presume it's all to do with the vacation we're going on. I guess she wants to book something in advance and she needs the passports for that. I wonder why she didn't ask for my passport too. Do you think she forgot about it?
I think it might be because you're not coming with us.
I'm not coming too? What are you talking about? Of course I'm going to be coming with you. You can't go without me.
I thought it was agreed that you were not going to be coming with us. Has something changed?
What do you mean? Of course I'm going to be coming with you. It's a family vacation. You can't go without me. I have to be there with you.
I spoke with my mom and she told me that you're not coming with us. I asked her about it and she told me. I thought you spoke to her about it too.
I never spoke to her about it. What is your mom talking about? Why would she say that? I've planned to come with you and I really don't want to change things now. I was really looking forward to it. We're going to have a really good time.
I presume you're going to be staying here to do some other things. Maybe you could make some food while we're away. That way, when we get back, we won't have to prepare everything for Christmas. You can do it all.
Why would I do that? Why should I stay here and make all the food while you guys go on holiday? I don't want to spend another year making food for everyone. I want to go on holiday with you guys.
I don't think you can come now. My mom has already booked the vacation and you're not included. It would be too hard to change things now, so you're just going to have to stay behind. There are only 4 people going on this vacation. You're not one of them.
You're trying to tell me that it's going to be your mom and dad, you and your sister? What about me? How could you leave me out like this? Don't you even care about me?
I think that's what's going to happen. We do care about you. I guess my mom just doesn't want you there this time.
Did she do this on purpose? She deliberately left me out? I can't believe this. What did I do to deserve this? Your mom told me that we were going to go together. Why did she change her mind?
You think she did this on purpose? You're telling me that you were supposed to be coming with us all this time.
I think she's done this deliberately. She told me that I was going to be coming with you. I was looking forward to it. I feel really betrayed by all this. Why would she do that to me?
I don't think my mom would do that. There must have been some kind of a misunderstanding. She's not the kind of person to play games, and you know she really cares about you.
It wasn't a misunderstanding. She knows what she did. I was there and I spoke to her. Are you taking her side in this? Why do you believe her and not me?
I'm not taking her side. I just think that's what must have happened. I'm trying to be diplomatic.
You're really not being nice to me here. I want you to be on my side. Are you really going to go away at Christmas and leave me here to make food for you guys? Why should I do that? Have you lost your mind?
I don't think it's that bad. You can do a good job, so there's something nice for when we get back.
Are you out of your mind? Have you really lost it now?
Don't talk to me like that. Show me a little more respect, please.
You're just going to leave me out of your family holiday. That's really not fair. You can't just throw me to one side like this as if I mean nothing to you.
If you're so mad about it, then you need to go and talk to my mom.
I spoke with her and now she's gone and done this. What's wrong with her?
Stop blaming this on my mom. She wouldn't do this on purpose. There must have been a mistake.
You're such a mama's boy. You don't even care about me. You're always putting her first.
You are important to me. You mean more to me than anything. But this time, things are a little bit different.
I don't want to talk about it anymore. I think I've heard enough from you. I'm going to talk to your mom about this.
Why are you doing that? She's going to be busy getting ready for the vacation. She doesn't need you going over there and causing trouble. You just stay here and accept what happened.
You're going to leave me out like this and you think I'm going to sit here in silence?
I'll go and talk to her sometime later. You don't need to get involved.
Why should I let you do it? I think you're scared of her. You do whatever she tells you to do.
She might be a bit scary, but I'm still going to stand up for you. I still put you first. Can't you just be a little bit more understanding of this whole situation? You don't need to take it so personally. You just seem to get so angry about every little thing. I think my mom just wants it to be us guys this time. You don't need to feel so bad about it. You can come on the next vacation. How about that?
Why should I do that? What a loser you are. You're such a weak and cowardly husband. Why am I even married to you? You don't even fight for me when I need you.
So nice of you to come here and see us again. You know I really like it when you come over. How are you?
I'm not here to make happy conversation with you. I want to know what game you're playing. What's going on? Don't try to play dumb with me. You know what I'm talking about.
I really don't know, to be honest. Tell me, please.
What's going on with you? Are you in a bad mood or something? I can't understand the atmosphere right now. Tell me straight. Why are you leaving me out of the family vacation? I thought we were all going together. I was really looking forward to it. What do you mean? David told me you wanted to see his passport. He told me all about it. I'm not invited. I know that much. No, we're going to go with you too. Of course you can come with us. What? I'm coming with you. Is that right? Why is everyone saying something different?
Why did you have to come over here and make all this fuss? Was there any need for it?
I came here because I wanted answers from you. Are you going to answer me or not?
I think it might be best if we talk about this at another time. There's no need to mention it right now.
You want to talk about it another time? Why? Why can't we talk about it now? Let me guess. You're going to wait until the holiday is over and then tell me about it. I think I get it. You want me to stay here and make all the food, and then when you get back, you're going to apologize to me. Is that right? Then you're going to try and move on as if nothing happened.
Why are you trying to make a big scene here? What's your problem? It's normal for someone to make all the food at Christmas. I think it's your job to do it. I don't want to do it. I'm old and it's really hard for me. You'd be much better at it than I am. In the past, it was always me and Cindy doing it. I want you to do it now.
I have helped you before. I've done my fair share of work. I used to go out and buy all the ingredients, and I helped you cook. I've even done the dishes when I was asked to do so. Do you not remember that? Don't you even notice the things I do? I think you're being a little bit overly dramatic right now. You're just trying to play the victim. Can you just be quiet for a moment, please? If you want. What is it that you have to say?
I think you've been a little bit rude to us here. This isn't like you. I think you need to change your attitude.
I thought I was going to be coming on vacation with you, and I'm really not happy that you've chosen to leave me out. It's really not nice to be abandoned like this. If you wanted me to stay here and prepare everything for Christmas, then why didn't you tell me? You should have let me know as soon as possible. You got me all excited and then you let me down. I can't forgive you for that. You know I wouldn't want to do that. You knew that I was going to say no, so you just didn't tell me. What did you do in all this, Cindy? Were you part of this decision too? Why are you bringing me into this again? I didn't do anything wrong here. I wish you two would get along a bit better. You don't have to fight over this. If you just talk calmly to each other, then I'm sure you can work something out. I have to go now. I'm going to meet my boyfriend. I'll speak to you two again later.
Is that your excuse? You just don't want to talk about this, do you? It might be a tricky topic of conversation, but it would be nice if we could get it sorted here and now. You're really not being that nice now. I hope you're not going to be like this over Christmas. We just want to go on a nice family vacation and you're trying to ruin it. What is wrong with you? It was you who said we were going to go on this vacation together. What did you expect me to think? I now find out that you don't want me to go. Of course I'm going to be angry about it. Why are you treating me like this? It's really not the right way to treat your daughter-in-law. Someone needs to stay here and prepare everything for Christmas. Who else was going to do it? If you come too, then there will be no one left to keep things in order. What if something happens to the house when we're away? But why do I have to do it? If you're so worried, then why don't you stay behind? You really think you can boss me around like this? You think I'm just going to do what you want me to do? I didn't say that about you. Stop making things up. Stop playing victim in all of this. I know what you're trying to do here. You want me to make all the food so you don't have to do anything. It's really not fair on me. Why can't you see it this way? I don't think you have any right to get so angry about this. We only want you to make some food. It would be a whole lot easier for me if you could help me do it. I don't want to be doing it all on my own. Can't you just do it this once? We want to go away on holiday. We are all one big family, and you really need to do what you can to help out. I really don't know what's got into you. You're not playing fair. You should think about us and not just yourself. It's not me being selfish. It's you. I don't want to be left on my own to do all this stuff. You don't have anything better to do with your time, so why can't you do this? It's really going to be a great help. I do have other things to do. You can't just plan my time like this and expect me to do these things. I have done it so many times, and you only gave me a little bit of help. Just this once, I want to go on holiday and have a nice time, and you won't step in and do the work for me. I think you're being really mean here, and you need to think again. If you don't want to cook the food yourself, then why don't you buy it from somewhere? Why don't you pay someone else to make it instead of just expecting me to do it? Why are you being so disrespectful to me? I'm not being disrespectful. I think it's a good idea. It would solve the problem for both of us. You just want to go away without me and leave me here to sort everything out for myself. Why should I do that? You didn't even consult me about this and you just expect me to do it. Who else is going to do it? I'm going away, so I'm not going to be here. I think it's going to have a positive influence on you. It's going to teach you that you have to do these things. That way, when you need to do it again in the future, it won't be a problem for you. I have no intention of doing it for you. You really need to think of another idea. Why can't I just come on vacation with you guys? You're really going crazy about all of this, aren't you? You really won't let this one go. If you want to go on vacation, then you pay for it. I'm not going to be paying for it. You don't care about me at all, do you? You don't even think about my feelings. I was so angry about what they said to me. It really hurt me and made me feel sad. I was really angry about it all. I was thinking about it all the time on the way home. I can't believe that they want me to stay here and get everything ready for Christmas while they go on holiday. I really didn't want to let this go. I couldn't let them get away with this. Why are you here again? What did you come back for? I didn't think you were going to come back here ever again. I thought we'd seen the last of you. I just wanted to talk to you again. I don't want to do what you said. If I'm here on my own, then it's going to make me feel really unhappy. Is this some kind of a threat? Why did I ever let you marry my son? What a terrible mistake! I didn't know you were this kind of a person. I didn't realize you had this kind of a personality. You did a really good job of hiding this, but now it's all coming out.
I've always been this person. I was just being nice to you. You've been making me feel uncomfortable for a long time, but now it's all coming out in the open. You really don't treat me the way I want to be treated. You can't just order me around and treat me like trash.
How can you define me like this? You really don't seem to know your place in this family.
I'm just telling you how I feel. I don't have to do what you want me to.
You can come with us if you really want to, but it means no one is going to be here to cook Christmas food. What's going to happen when we get back? What are we going to eat? We won't have time to make anything special.
You think I came here to ask to go on vacation with you? I don't even want to go anymore. Spending time with you would really be too much for me. I don't want to waste my money on a vacation with you. That would be a big mistake.
What is wrong with you? 1 minute you want this, and then the next minute you want that. You seem to change your mind very quickly. Are you just trying to cause trouble? Does that make you feel happy?
I want to let you know that from now on I won't be helping you at all. You're going to have to do it all yourself. I don't want to help people who don't respect me. If you're not going to be nice to me, then I won't be nice to you.
How are we going to cope if you don't help us? You're just going to leave us here like this.
I think you're going to be just fine. You don't need me. You can do it yourself.
You are a member of our family, and that means you have to help us with this kind of thing. You can't just back out of it all now.
I know you don't really like my cooking. It's obvious. You're just lazy, and that's why you want my help.
Don't be so cold-hearted. You have to think about me and what I need.
You are more than capable at cooking all the food for Christmas, so you can do it yourself. If you're not happy with that, then you need to buy some. Whatever you do, don't try to drag me into this. I'm not doing it. Imagine if I had to do it all on my own. I'd be so busy. I wouldn't have time for anything else.
You just don't want to do what I tell you to do.
I look back now and realize that I was too nice to you. I helped you when you needed it, and I really shouldn't have done so. Now I know what you were planning. You want me to do more and more of the work because you didn't want to. I'm not going to be your servant, so you need to change your ideas about this.
Don't talk such nonsense. I didn't do anything of the kind.
You're giving me all this stuff to do, and at the same time, you're excluding me from family events. What on earth is going on in your mind? You think this is okay? I really don't think so. You're starting to sound a little bit stupid now. You're not a teenage girl. It's time to grow up.
Can you be quiet, please? I don't want to talk to you right now.
Okay, if that's what you really want.
I think you're having delusions, and I really wish you'd snap out of it.
I'm not being childish or delusional. You really don't want to include me in family events. You treat me as if I'm not really a part of this family, and it really hurts me. You even treat Cindy's boyfriend better than me. How is that fair?
I just want to be nice to him, that's all. There's no need for you to get all jealous about it.
Don't you think you should also be nice to me? Or am I just for cooking and things like that?
He's been really nice to me. He's bought me some presents, so I want to return the favor. What did you ever do around here apart from complain? I really can't think of anything. I really don't think it's strange for me to be nice to my future son-in-law. I'm just doing what any mother would do. Why can't you see it that way?
I just think it's strange that you're so nice to him but not nice to me. Why don't you treat us both the same? I think that would be more sensible.
Do we have to keep going on like this? I'm getting bored of this, and I'd be much happier if you left.
I agree. Do you have to come over here and complain about everything?
Stop talking. I don't want to hear your opinion.
Why not? Don't be rude to me. I won't be coming over here to see you again. Not tomorrow and not at Christmas. If that's how you want it to be, then so be it. I can do that. You're going to get what you want. I don't want you to come to my place and get food from there either. You can get food from somewhere else. I'm not going to be doing these things for you anymore. You're just going to have to accept that.
Don't say such stupid things. How are we going to survive if you don't help us? I can't cook very well myself. I need you to do it for me.
If you can't cook, then maybe it's time for you to go and learn. It can't be that hard for you. Or you could get Cindy here to do it, and then she could do something useful with her time. Stop being like this, please. Why should my mom have to do all the cooking? Is this a joke? You want us to go to cooking school? I don't have time for that kind of thing. It would be a whole lot better if you were to do it instead of us. I think it'd be nice if you were to say sorry to my mom right now. There's really no need for this. You have to help us out in the future. We really need you. Mom, we really need to sort this out right now. What if she doesn't come back to help us?
Why should I sort it out? She's the one causing all the trouble.
Maybe you could try to compromise with her? If my boyfriend comes over, then what is he going to eat?
Why don't you employ a housemaid to cook for you? I'm not going to do that because it's your job to do it. You married my son, and this is one of the things you have to do.
I don't think he's going to agree with you on this one.
If we don't have you, then who's going to cook the food?
I don't know who's going to do it. You'll just have to find someone. I've told you how I feel, and I really have nothing more to add.
I don't know why we even allow you to be a part of this family. I wish he'd divorce you, and then we could find someone better. He could do better than you if only you'd leave and get out of the way.
You're losing your mind now. Mom, please don't do this. You're digging a bigger and bigger hole. What are we going to do if Katrina isn't around to help us cook? We're going to have to do it all ourselves.
I'm not going to change my mind when she's been this rude to me.
Mom, please stop. You're only hurting yourself. You're going too far now.
Even if we don't have her here, we're still going to have a nice life. We don't need her. She's been helpful in the past, but I know we can get by just fine without her.
I'm happy about this. I don't want to be near you again. If we can live our lives at a distance, then that would be fine with me. I don't need you either. If I never see you again, then I'm really not going to miss you. It would be nice for me, actually. I wouldn't have to do all those things that you expect me to do. I've done too much for you in the past, and I never got anything for it in return. I've lost a lot of time because of you, and it'll be better for me if that didn't happen in the future. You know how much money I make at the restaurant, don't you? You remember all the money I brought into this family? Where would you be if it wasn't for me doing that? You need to remember that. Please! My mom's just getting a bit emotional right now. You don't need to let it get to you. Talk to me for a moment, please. I want to talk with you. I think we can work this out if we really try. We just need to be a bit nicer to each other and stop seeing each other as being enemies. You only care about me now because you think you're going to suffer. You didn't care about me at first. Why should I listen to you now? I was so angry about what they did to me, I started to think about getting a divorce from my husband. I can't control how angry I am over this. I don't know what life would be like for me if I left my husband. It might be difficult. I don't know if I want to go through with it, but I'm really not feeling good about all this now. I'm going to let them go on holiday, and during that time, I'm going to think about it myself. I wonder how I'm going to feel when they come back.
What is going on here? Why is all this stuff here? Is someone moving house? What's going on? Why won't the key work in the lock?
Can't you just open it? Oh, let me try. What is going on here? There's something wrong. Why won't it open?
We went away for a vacation and now the key doesn't work. What on earth is going on? I wonder what happened.
Oh, look at this note. Let me read it. Hello, everyone. Did you have a nice vacation? I had a nice time myself. I didn't have anything to do, so it was really nice to spend some time on my own thinking about my life. I wanted to give myself something to do. Sorry if that's going to cause trouble for you. I've made a big decision and I hope you can accept it. I'm sure you all remember this is my house. I think you're just going to have to get used to the new normal. I'm really sorry if this harms you, but it just had to be done. What has she done? What is all this about? She's changed the locks on the house. What are we going to do now? She's really gone too far.
This is really bad.
We can't let this happen. We need to find out where she is and what all this is about. David, you need to talk to her and try to get her to stop being like this. Where am I going to live now? What am I going to do? How could this happen? She's locked me out of my own house. What am I going to do now? I know I made her a little bit angry, but I didn't think she was going to go this far.
Try not to panic, Mom. There might be some kind of explanation to this. Maybe things are going to turn out okay.
You better be right. Who knows what she's going to do next?
I want to order some food. Can you hurry up, please? I'm really hungry.
Yes, okay, I can do that for you now. Calm down a little bit, please. I hope you're being nice to the customers. I'm going to be really unhappy if you're not. I am being nice, but I wish they'd be nice to me too. If the customer isn't nice to you, then you just have to take it. You can't answer back to them. Even if they're a little bit rude to you, you still have to be nice back to them. If I have to. Try not to let it get to you. Just turn the other cheek if it happens again. I can see it annoys you too. Why do we have to go through this? I really don't want to be here, and I really don't want to be doing this. I can't stand to see my son working here. He's better than this. I think he should be doing a much better job than this. It's really not good enough for me.
I know you don't like it, Mom, but there's not a lot we can do about it.
If you want me to help you, then let me know. I'll do anything for my son. Come here. Let me wipe this off your face.
Oh, you've got chili on your hands. Oh, that stinks. It hurts so bad. Give me some water now. I need water quickly.
Here, have this. I've got some water here.
Oh, that's even worse. It stinks even more now.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe to see more content.